Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I want to share the breakdown of this little project I was doing the other day. The whole thing is set up using geometry nodes, and I'm using Eevee engine, and so it's almost kind of real time. And I like to set it up like this, and I can play back, and then you can see there's some kind of movement there with the balls. So it's very arty. This was inspired by similar artwork. I believe you have seen it if you've been on internet for a while. It could be, I think it's a Persian or Egyptian artist, and then he made like a cube. So originally this is actually just a cube, and I just subdivided it randomly. So it's pretty simple. I actually I made it so that I can play back the animations while I'm playing my keyboard. So it could be like for live performance. So ideally, maybe this is running, if it's running on like a under game engine, Unreal or Unity, and then you can provide interactivity while you are performing your music, then maybe that's ideal. Anyway, I have my keyboard. Yeah, I have my keyboard here actually plugged into my computer, and I'm running this app called AugmentedSTRINGS. This is free until the end of the April. I don't know, for the license, up to 5 machines. So I think it's a really good deal because it's free. But anyway, I can play around with this while Blender is running. Maybe I do that at the end. Let me explain the setup first. So we have three different art cube, and we have a point, and then also we have like a cube for the wall that's acting as a wall. So there's like a cube, and we are inside the cube, and there's this point light that's moving around to create this kind of weird shadow movement. So this is what I will be animating while playing the keyboard. The point light the light can be controlled, maybe using geometry nodes, just to give like a different color. Maybe that's could be fun. But anyhow, so we can start with a cube or just icosphere. So if I use icosphere, this is what we get. Oh, this is actually, if I'm using the cube, we already have some craziness happening. Switch back to icosphere. So what's going on here? Icosphere turned into hexagon using dual mesh, and then I have a couple of node group that's doing the subdivisions randomly. And then on top of that, we have an animations of this rotating. So inside the node group here, we have this node group have a parameter like seed that we can adjust. This is just to randomize the subdivisions. Inside it, we have something really simple. Just delete, actually this is just delete geometry, and our original geometry goes inside delete geometry, and there's this random value controlling the boolean cut. Oh, it's like a boolean selections, and this is the invert of the other selection. So based on this random value of 0 and 1 for each polygon face, it's gonna delete the geometry, and this one's doing the invert, and both is combined together and merged by distance. There is this, of course, subdivide mesh. So the part that's not deleted is being subdivided. Okay, so yeah, so that's basically the process. I do that a couple of times. We have the random subdivisions. If I actually turn off the wireframe, I'm using the wireframe modifier here, but originally it's just like this. It's looking like this. For each polygon face, it's doing this random subdivisions. Yeah. Turn this back on. So we have this like wireframe. So that's basically the setup. And once you have it, you can run the simulations. Okay, with the point light, if you have the radius crank up high, the shadow will be really soft. If you have it close to 0 or actually at 0, it's gonna be like super hard shadows, and maybe this is what you want. The shadow, if it's too strong, I believe you cannot control the shadow strength. Let me think. Maybe there's a way to control the shadow, but anyway, for now I can perform this randomly. So I go to full screen, Control Option Spacebar, full screen in Blender. I tap G. So if I tap G, I can move my mouse. So while this is doing this, I can press like a random key. So that's the idea basically, but the sound of keyboard of course matter as well. Let me see the setting. Where's the options? Okay, this. Oh, anyway, this one is using Canon and imitation. There's some presets. Like this one is pretty cool as well. Yeah, originally I actually just do a render, but I found that okay, render is beautiful as well, but I think real time, if you're doing it real time, then you can use your left mouse and right mouse button at the same time. So I'm using my Agha MPK Mini. And if I tap spacebar, is also animating. So this one give the full experience. Right, so yeah, so that's basically the setup. It's pretty simple, basic ideas, but this is something that you can do in just few minutes. I think you just made it up. Just make an interesting objects with random subdivisions, and then you have some kind of instruments playing in the background while this one can sort of move around and rotating. I think I can just delete the other cube. Actually, a single cube is probably enough for this kind of setup, and this give probably it's a lot simpler. think this can be animated using geometry nodes or different method, as long as it's real time, because I'm using Eevee. If I switch to cycles, the result will be a lot nicer. But Eevee with the shadow is like pretty impressive. Okay, so this is probably something you want to play around with. Let me try one more preset. Endless piece. Okay. I think I probably have another cube somewhere here. Oh, that's the wall. Okay. Yeah, so that's basically the setup. I haven't explained the animations. The animation is just transform with align vector to align Euler to vector, and we have scene time goes into the rotations, so we can actually rotate in 3 different axes while the axis of the vector is being disturbed by this noise texture. I think okay, that's interesting. Yeah, the motion can be a lot more interesting than this, but you got the idea. It's just like this basic art setup inside a box that you can kind of play around while you are using keyboard and performing. Alright, so hopefully this is useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.